Welcome back to Breakfast Television, and we are now talking about what to ditch for 2019, and it's all about bad habits. And joining us is best-selling author and life coach Melissa Dawn. So good to see you, and you're the author of I Attract What I Am. So it's good to see you.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Listen, we have to talk about what to ditch, and one of the first ones that you talk about is really important, but believing that value comes from what you do. And what do you mean by that?
Well, a lot of people, when you ask them how they are or what they do, they introduce themselves by their title, right? So for instance, you can say you're a TV host, right? But you're so much more than your title. I mean, you bring positive energy, you inspire people, you reassure people. So our title comes and goes. Our jobs come and go, but who are we underneath that? And if you think you only bring value through your title, well, you're so much more than that. So look into yourself and do that inner work. And if you're not doing it, then you're robbing the world and yourself of the amazing person.
Should you be going out and telling people, I'm Catherine and I repel on weekends? And are you giving too much information? And what do you mean exactly, saying more than what you do for a living?
Don't think that you're just your title.
Okay.
Some people identify themselves as
just a teacher, just a police officer.
Exactly, just a parent. But
you're
so much more than that. How do you want to show up every day? The impact you have on people around you.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so another one is stop looking for approval. Now, in an era where social media is everything, it's a little bit difficult.
It is. You know, Oprah said that whoever goes on her show, whether it's a convict, whether it's Barack Obama or Beyonce, everybody asks, how did I do? Right? Something you're probably familiar with too. I know I asked you like a few times, right?
Am I okay? Am I doing well? Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're looking for validation.
Exactly. We want to know what we said was seen, it's heard, and that what we said or did mattered. And it's good to seek, it's good to listen to what other people say to a certain extent just so that you can improve, but don't put all your weight on it. If you feel good about what you did, if you feel comfortable, that's what's important. Because external validation is fleeting, whereas validation from within is much more powerful and enduring.
I think it's so hard to differentiate between the two. I think a lot of people are stuck with well, I'm going to put everything out on social media, and if people respond to it, that's how I know I'm being approved or people are okay. You know, you're looking for that validation. But there's also that little bit of a balance where you need to take a step back and say, you know what, I'm going to do no matter what, and people are still going to criticize anyways, so just live your best life doing what you want to do.
Exactly, and I always say it's not the quantity of likes you get, but the quality. Because if you can reach somebody's heart, that's much more meaningful than a whole bunch of people that just like your post.
Okay, and what about, you say, striving for perfection? A lot of people do this. There's no such thing as being perfect, but yet people are still striving to be perfect.
Right, you got to embrace who you are, your shadow and your light. You got to accept yourself as you are. And success is a part to be successful, failure is a part of it. So you need to fail, and failure is good. Instead of saying, oh, I failed, look at it as, what are the nuggets of wisdom I can get from this? What can I learn from this? And failure forces you to be more creative, and it opens new doors, and it helps you be braver in the future. So it's a really good thing.
Okay. Judgment and blame. Are you trying to say that we need to forget about the judgment because that's going to happen?
I'm saying don't be the victim in your story, be the hero in your story. So a lot of people point the finger, oh, this happened because of this or this external consequence.
Or I'm the way I am, excuse me, I'm the way I am because I was raised this way, or I don't show a lot of affection because I didn't get a lot of affection. Is this what you're...
Exactly, or I have a crappy boss, or, you know. But instead of pointing the finger to everyone, point it back at yourself and say, how do I want to show up?
And how am I going to change?
Exactly, because you are responsible for how you show up. And as Mother Teresa said, if everyone would just sweep their own doorstep, the whole world would be clean. So go ahead, sweep your doorstep, and create what you want to create.
Okay, and you're saying when it's time, you know, when 2019 rolls around, you're saying it's time to get rid of whatever no longer is validating your life.
So Gary Douglas from Access Consciousness, he said that 98% of our thoughts are not ours. It means that they come from our entourage, our parents, our colleagues, our teachers. So how can you stick with the 2% that are yours, you know? All of us have some limiting beliefs, that we have some negative thoughts, we have some sabotaging going on inside. So we need to get rid of this. If they're not serving us, we need to let them go so that we can make space for what we do want to create.
Okay, so basically 2019 is the year of just cleaning up shop, starting off fresh. It's the new year. You're giving us some great advice there. Well, thank you so much, Melissa Dawn. Always a pleasure to see you. Stay tuned to Breakfast Television. Coming up after the break, we have your headline news and weather.